Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to the video. If you clicked on this video, then you came here for both of these products. I always get really excited when there's a new Huda Beauty release because Huda Beauty is one of my favorite soft glam, full glam brands. If I just know I need a go-to glam product, Huda Beauty is that brand. But they are currently going through a rebrand. So are the new products gonna be just as good as older releases? We're gonna find out. We have two new products to put to the test, so let's get into it. First things first, we have the Easy Blur silicone-free smoothing and pore minimizing primer. This retails for $29 and it's supposed to be ultra blurring. It has a jelly-like texture and instant oil control. All of those things sound amazing. When I first saw this product was announced and sneak peeked, I immediately thought about this primer right here. If you know, you know. This is the Glowish Primer. This was Huda's sister brand that she came out with. It was supposed to be more clean-like and skincare infused. This is also a silicone-free smoothing primer. So this is what Glowish looks like. So Glowish is truly like a jam. How they're describing the Glowish Primer is exactly how I would describe it as well. It looks like this. So this is the texture of the Glowish primer. Let's get into this primer here so you can see the texture of this. So this new primer has a pink color to it. This one actually feels cooling to the touch. Feels almost like a paste. I don't know. It's so interesting. But this definitely feels cooling and smoother. This one almost feels kind of dry. Now that I actually have something to compare this primer to. I love this primer from Glowish. But I was like, okay, we have this one from Glowish. How is this one going to be different? It actually feels different to my skin. This one definitely feels almost like it has like it almost feels like water on the skin. I don't know, it's so interesting. And you can already see this one is very blurring already. This one, you can't really tell that it is blurring. I'm only going to use the new primer today because I really want to put it to the test and actually see how this holds up. And I don't even think you can get this one anymore because the Glowish line from Huda is being discontinued, unfortunately. It might still have a few in like Sephora stores or on the Huda Beauty website, but as far as like making more, I don't think that that's a thing. I did see Huda say to apply a finger's length of this primer. I feel like that's gonna be too much. And this finger's length is supposed to be for one side of the face. I just feel like that low-key might be too much of this product. So I don't know, like this feels very cooling to my skin. I actually really love how this feels, and comparing it to the Glowish, I feel like this one is easier to blend out. It'll fall off your finger. It won't stick to the finger, so you can easily apply. The Glowish one will, like, if you put some on your finger, it will fall off your finger. It's kind of like that texture. But look at the blurred pores. You can kind of see that the pores are blurred. Now, this is supposed to help with oil controlling, and I'm a little nervous that I'm not going in with like one of my go-to oil primers, so we really are gonna see how this primer works. And I don't really think I would do like a fingertip worth of this primer like Huda suggests, because I feel like that's just too much primer. Definitely does have that blur. So this primer is a part of the Easy routine. It's supposed to be this primer, this foundation, and then the powder. I unfortunately do not own the Huda Beauty powder. I know, crazy, right? I know, but I have tried it and it is a great, great powder. Before we go into the Easy Blur foundation, I want to add a little bit of color corrector. This is from Huda. One thing about this though, I will say, is that the packaging leaks out with this color corrector, and I hate that. That is my least favorite thing about this product, but I do love the formula of this. So this is the Easy Blur Natural Airbrush Foundation with niacinamide. This retails for $37. This is a lightweight, medium to buildable coverage that's non-comedogenic and ultra blurring for an airbrushed finish. This is vegan and cruelty-free as well. So it looks like they do recommend using a brush with this. This looks so tiny, but you do get 1 fluid ounce of product in here. So it's not really tiny. It just looks tiny because of the packaging. That's like the standard foundation size, 1 ounce. I had this shade in her other foundation and it wasn't the best shade. It was not the best shade, but I hope that this is somewhat better. This looked like it would be the better match, maybe. I don't know. Probably not, but we'll work with it. We'll work with it. We will work with it. Okay, it's not the best match. But I kind of expected this though, because the shades are the same from her first foundation, and I had trouble finding my shade in that foundation. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just make this one work. Wow. Okay, that is very pretty. Adding some more. Adding some on the nose. Just trying to avoid the under eye area because I don't want to apply product there. But this is nice. It's a lot more lightweight than I thought, because it's almost giving skin tint in a way, because I don't really feel like it's covering that much. Like, I really don't feel like it's covering that much. I also feel like once the color sets into the skin, it does look a lot better. It does look very pretty on the skin. It just is giving more skin tint than I was expecting. Now that I'm seeing the coverage that this is giving, I don't think I would use a sponge with this. I did pull out a sponge, but they recommended using a brush, so I'm going to do what they recommended, and I'm just going to stick with the brush. Definitely giving every day, though. Maybe soft glam. I am going to see if I can build this up, though, with a little bit more. With the second layer, and see how the second layer looks. I feel like once I build this up, you can really see the color is not like the best shade for me. But I really can make this work. I can definitely make the shade work. I think the skin looks pretty blurred for a foundation. Let's even myself out now. This color really does not look like how the other color looked in the other foundation though. Because I feel like I really don't remember it being or looking this light. Also, if you're curious, the brush that I'm using is the BK Beauty 101 brush. Love this brush. I really like how this foundation is applying with the brush as well. And I definitely do feel like it does have a blur to the skin. Mind you, that was both of these products combined.
I need rest now, got me bummed out. You so baby, baby, baby. I've been on my empty mind, shit. I should've came from losing yesterday. I worry that I wasted the best of.
Here's the finished makeup look, and y'all, my makeup looks good today. And I don't always say that, okay? I don't always say that. And I'm looking at my makeup in the mirror, how everything just laid down. Wow, I'm having a very, very good makeup day right now. I'm impressed. Look at the skin. Oh my God, my skin looks so good. It looks so good. Y'all, Huda has been teasing these two products for over a month, and I was just like, okay, enough teasing. I want to get my hands on it. Release it. I was like, I felt like she teased this so far in advance from when it was actually launching, and it was just hyped up so much. I was like, let me get my hands on this, let me try it. Aside from the shade not being the best, I think it's safe to say that the end makeup result is looking pretty good. I definitely made it work with all my products that I applied on top. You really can't even tell that much that the shade wasn't my perfect shade, but wow, I'm very impressed with the initial application, but let's see how this wears. It is currently 12:52 p.m., so we're gonna see how this holds up throughout the day. I have very high hopes, so we'll see. The primer says it has an oil control aspect to it, so we'll see how that works out with my combo skin. All right, so I'll check in with you guys a little bit later. I wanted to do a little phone video for y'all so you can see how this looks on the iPhone camera. And I am up close and personal, and it looks so good. I am so shook at how good this looks in person. It looks so good. Like, my skin looks so good. I literally have no words. Definitely loving how this is looking more than I liked the initial application from Patrick Talks. I think my skin looks so good. But I also feel like in the iPhone camera, you can tell that this foundation match is not the best match for me. I might go and get a deeper shade. I don't know. We'll see. We have our first check-in. It is currently 4 o'clock p.m. and I am getting a little bit oily in the everywhere. This is usually normal for me though. Around the 4-hour mark, I start to get a little bit oily, but my makeup still looks very, very good. I have a little creasing by the smile lines, but it's nothing too crazy. I do feel like overall, 4 hours in, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I just feel like I'm a little glowy. I did just film a purchase or pass video. So in my purchase or pass video, you'll see the glow. You will definitely see the glow. That video will be up later this week, but it looks very, very good. It is currently 7:39 p.m. I literally just woke up from a nap. I did no touch-ups or anything. And I just feel like when it comes to this area here, it's not the most flattering. Like this just looks, I have like creasing here. I feel like my makeup is low-key kind of sweating off. I just feel like it just really did not wear the best in the T-zone. It's so interesting to me because I really don't feel like I see any oil controlling aspect from this particular primer. I definitely feel like it blurred 100%. If you need a primer that's going to actually blur the skin and kind of smooth those pores, this is a great primer. Now, is this primer anything different from the Glowish Blur Jam? No. Had this primer given me a little bit more oil control aspect to it, then I would have said yes, but I don't really feel like there's too much of a difference from this one and the Glowish primer. So if you have the Glowish primer, you really do not need to pick this one up because I feel like they both blur the skin, they both blur the pores, and they both give like that filtered effect. Let's talk about the Easy Blur. Aside from the shade, I really love how this looked initially after first application. When I got to hour 4, I started to get a little bit oily, but my skin still looked very good, which is pretty normal for me. Hours 5 and 6, I was getting a little bit more oily. I feel like I really want to try to blot this a little bit. Just curious to see how this would look if I was to kind of like blot. Like if I was out and my makeup started looking like this. Just want to see how this would look if I was able to touch it up. So I'm using some of my NARS powder in the shade Bay in the areas where I am the most oily. And just seeing if I can kind of like touch this up. On a normal day that I wasn't doing a wear test, I would absolutely touch up my makeup. And of course, that would help it to last longer. And of course, using my oil controlling primers that are honestly top tier, like my Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder, my One Size Oil Sucker, like those will really help foundations to really stay on, and I highly recommend those if you have oily combo skin. But when I do wear tests like this, I don't want to use those kind of products because I really do want to see how the foundations are going to hold up without those. I was able to blot a little bit of the oils down and it looks very good. So you definitely can blot it down to get rid of some of those oils if you have oily combo skin. I feel like that definitely helped a little bit. Now that I blotted a little bit, I am not mad at this. I do think what it kind of comes down to is the primer saying that it has like oil controlling aspects, and I really don't feel like I saw that. I love how this foundation applied. My skin looked so good. You all saw how excited I was earlier when I applied this. My skin looked beautiful. It also is a breath of fresh air to not have a glowy, dewy foundation because I feel like a lot of the foundation launches we've seen have had that glowy, dewy kind of finish. To have something a little bit more satin-like that dries down is very, very nice. Now that it's blotted, I think it looks pretty good. But of course, for a wear test, I did not want to have to blot, so I wasn't really happy with how my makeup was looking. But now that it's blotted, it looks very good. I only had a little bit of separation in my smile lines. I feel like it kind of wore off right here. All in all, I think this is a very good launch from Huda Beauty. It really is nice to see a foundation that is not super glowy and dewy. Something that is lightweight but still gives you that coverage. And this is honestly a much better foundation launch than her original one because that one I just felt like was very thick and heavy, and this one is a little bit more lightweight. I do think if you have combo oily skin, what it really comes down to is using a primer that you know helps to control your oils and not rely on this particular primer right here. This is a primer that's great for blurring and giving that filtered look with this. This is not something you need if you have the Glow-Ish Primer. If you don't have the Glow-Ish Primer, you would like a primer that's going to blur everything, this is great for that. Go in with all of your go-to makeup products that you know is going to help your makeup last long and really help to control those oils. Now, if you have dry skin, I don't know if you're going to love this product, but I would say give it a try. I don't feel like this is a dry foundation. Both of these products are products I would definitely continue to reach for. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.